The restaurant was buzzing. Laughter, music, the clinking of glasses. It was my birthday, and my friends were all there to celebrate, and then there she was, Rachel, my wife. She stood up, a strange smile twisting her lips like she was about to deliver a punchline. "I'm done," she said, her voice cutting through the noise. And then, in front of everyone I knew, she turned and walked away. The room fell silent for a beat, a moment of confusion. Then the laughter started. Nervous at first, then growing louder, more mocking. They thought it was some kind of elaborate birthday prank. I felt a hot wave of embarrassment and rage wash over me, a feeling of total disbelief. But I didn't move. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. Instead, I reached into my jacket pocket. My fingers closed around the envelope I had slipped in there earlier that day. The one I had prepared just in case things went south. I pulled it out, deliberately, slowly. I opened it on the table for everyone to see. Inside were screenshots, receipts, undeniable evidence. Proof of the lies, the affairs, the web of manipulation she thought she had hidden so well. The laughter died instantly. Eyes widened, mouths hung open. "She's not joking," I said, my voice quiet but firm. "Neither am I." I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to explain myself. The truth was laid bare, speaking for itself. I glanced at Rachel, who had stopped by the door. Her face was a mask of pale shock. The entire atmosphere in the room had shifted. My so-called friends, the ones who had been laughing just moments ago, were now silent, their faces a mixture of confusion and dawning realization as they processed what they were seeing. I stood up, picked up my jacket, and walked out of that restaurant without a single look back. I didn't need her apology. I certainly didn't need her half-baked explanations. All I needed was to get my life back. Later that night, alone in my garage, surrounded by tools and the smell of oil, I let out a breath I felt like I'd been holding for years. I turned the key in the ignition of the car I'd been restoring, and the engine roared to life. This made sense. Engines made sense. The cold steel of a wrench in my hand made sense. It was tangible, real. Trust, I knew, would rebuild itself slowly, piece by piece, just like this car. But it would be rebuilt on a solid foundation this time. In the months that followed, Rachel tried to salvage her reputation. She spun her own version of the story, trying to charm people, trying to paint me as the villain. I never responded. I never engaged. I simply let the truth sit there, undeniable and visible for anyone who cared to look. And slowly, one by one, my real friends drifted back. My life started to find its rhythm again. I celebrate my birthdays differently now. They're quieter, spent with the handful of people who truly matter, the ones who stood by me when everything fell apart. And every now and then, when I think back to that night, a small smile finds its way to my face. Not because I reveled in her humiliation, not because I got revenge, but because in the face of absolute chaos, I kept my calm. I stayed true to myself. And in the end, I walked away with the two things that mattered most, my dignity and my life. And that is a victory worth celebrating every single day. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more.